Hello, welcome back to the Purpose and Glow podcast. My name is Pamela, your host. And just like any other episode, I am excited for today's episode. Yeah. Today's episode is quite special to me because first of all, let me just say, yeah, I never thought that I would share my journey of what I'm about to share with on social media because I remember starting the challenge that I completed, which is the 75 hard. I've completed the 75 hard. So, think 3 to 4 days into the challenge, yeah, I was like, let me record, my journey to me, and I chickened out probably on the fourth, fifth. I think 2 days later, I was like, it's fine. Let me just do this. Let it be like a personal accomplishment that I get to set and accomplish, right? But then now that I'm done with the challenge, I'm like, why not? I literally tell every second person I meet that I've completed the 75 hard. It's a different feeling. So I recently attended a graduation of somebody. The person had known, like you always know that you're graduating, but on that particular day of the graduation, he said to me, the feeling is different. And I agree with it because now that I've finished or I've completed the 75 hard, the feeling is different. I'm going to share my journey with you on this episode. Yep, it's a solo episode. I'm alone in studio and I'm going to share my journey of the 75 hard. Didn't want to share, but now that I've completed this journey, I'm like, why not? The first reason why I wanted to share with you, first of all, is that I'm proud of myself. I'm proud to say that I'll do something, and I did. Challenge myself to do something as one of the internet's toughest challenge. And I did. Proud of myself. And the second, I think the most also important reason why I wanted to share my journey is because of the Purpose and Glow Hub is all about productivity, growth, and just bettering ourselves. And this challenge includes all both productivity, growth, and bettering yourself. I mean, mental toughness is to better yourself, to become the person or to become the woman or man of your words, right? So, on this episode, I want to talk about three things. I want to talk about three things that is my journey of doing the 75 hard challenge. The second thing is now that I've completed the 75 hard, what's next? Then the third thing that I want to share a new podcast posting schedule that I want to share with you here, that I want to share with you on this episode. So, what is the 75 hard? What challenge are you talking about, Pam? What is it all about? So, 75 hard challenge is a mental toughness challenge that runs for 75 days. So basically, for 75 days, you have to complete 5 tasks every single day. And if you miss one of the 5 tasks, which I'll get into right now, shortly, if you miss any of the 5 tasks, you have to go back to day one. So let me say you've completed all the tasks from day one to day 50. And on day 50, you miss one of the tasks, you have to go back and start from the beginning from day one. Yeah. And what are those 5 tasks? Yeah. I'm going to read because I don't want to miss any of the 5 tasks. Yeah. First of all, you have to read 10 pages of a non-fiction book. Not nine, not 9.5, 10 pages of a non-fiction book. Not romance, but it has to be a business, entrepreneur, self-development books, basically. Yeah. And I've got my books also here, the ones I read throughout the 75 hard. So I'm going to share them with you guys here. Excited for that. You have to do two 45-minute workouts per day, and one should be outside. Yeah, you have to drink 3.8 liters, if I'm rounding it off, of water per day. That's about a gallon of water. 4 liters if you round it off every day. You have to take a progress picture every day. And then the last one is to follow any diet of your choice, no cheat meals and no alcohol. Yeah. So one would think, but then why those tasks are very easy, but doing it for 75 every day without fail can be quite challenging. So Pam, why would you challenge yourself to do, why would you be crazy to do like especially the two workouts per day? Why, Pam? First of all, I wanted to build mental toughness. Yeah, I wanted to build discipline. I wanted to build integrity just for myself to be a woman of my words, to say something and I accomplish it. So that it really installed discipline in it, installed integrity. Integrity comes in if you miss even one little tiny thing, you have to go back. You understand? So you have to be honest. Love this challenge. I've loved this challenge because it gives you no room to say that. It gives you no room to be like in the middle. It's yes or no. You know, it's either yes or yes. It reminds me of the Bible. You don't have to sugarcoat the word of God. It's either you have to or you don't. So I think that's also what kind of drew me to this challenge because it's like you've got to do it, and if you don't do it, you failed the challenge, or you need to start over again. You understand? So I absolutely love this challenge. I tried doing the 75 hard, I think in 2023, if I'm not mistaken, and I failed on day 12 because of a progress picture. Progress picture. It might seem like the simplest thing, but the most simplest thing also to forget. So after failing on day 12, instead of starting back again, I completely stopped. I was like, you know what? Let me just stop. Instead of starting over again, I was like, let me just stop. And also throughout the years, I've been trying. I've been trying to start. I would have the idea. I know that I wanted to do the 75 hard, but just to kick off, that actually never. I just never actually started. Yeah, but I also knew that this challenge is a way to kickstart my journey towards discipline. Like I've said, mental toughness and integrity. So it was the kickstart that I really needed to rebuild, just to rebuild momentum, growth, and honesty within me. This was a way to prove to myself that I can be anything that I want to be. Set your mind to do something and actually do it. So this challenge was the absolute kickstart of my journey of discipline. Not that I didn't have discipline, and to be quite honest with you, yeah, I also just wanted to say that I've completed the 75 hard. I watch a lot of 75 hard videos now, especially now that I was in the challenge. But before that, I would watch a lot of 75 hard videos, and I'll be like, I wonder what it's like to actually complete the 75 hard. But now that I'm on this side, I can say I've completed the 75 hard. I can be one of those that says that I've completed the 75 hard, and it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling. It's a feeling. It's a feeling, and it's a good thing to just know that I've worked very hard to build discipline, mental toughness, and just to install that in me. It's a good place to be in. Yeah. So let us go through my journey of the 75 hard step by step through the five tasks. Yeah. So my journey started on the 21st of July, 2025, and it went through the 3rd of October this month. Literally 6 days. Literally. This is like my 6 days after. This is my sixth day after finishing the 75 because it finished on a Friday, on October 3rd, a Friday, and today is the 8th of October. During those 75 hard, life didn't stop, life went on, you understand? And I celebrated birthday parties. I attended and I went to events where there's food. I was sit with you. Even my wedding anniversary was during the 75 hard, but I stayed committed. I stayed committed to the promise that I made to myself, and I'm happy that I did. Now I can look back smile, and say that I've completed the 75 hard. And I did. And I remember getting like my favorite chocolate. I think I made a short video the Saturday after completing the 75 hard, eating my chocolates, my anniversary chocolate. And I looked at them during the challenge. To be honest with you, I was not even entertaining the idea. I looked at them and I packed them away immediately because I have a suit. So now let us go through the daily tasks step by step. Yeah. Let's start with reading. Literally, this was one of my favorite parts because I read about 5 books. So let me quickly grab my books. So, this was the first book I read. Basically, this book, I've been reading it since January, but I just never got to finish it because I was reading like step by step, but I didn't want to start all the other books without finishing. So, I had about maybe 2 to 3 days in this, no, maybe a week to finish this, to finish the 10 pages, and it's 10 pages. So this was my first book. This one, I didn't read it entirely. I finished it off because I didn't want to start any other book without reading it. This I love. It's written by a psychologist. Love it, 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 and I would recommend it. Yeah. Then my next book was this one, Breaking Barriers. Love it. It's written by a Namibian author. Love, 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 love the book. I love it. I'd recommend it because it makes you get out of your own comfort zone. It makes you come out of your comfort zone to achieve the goals, just the purpose that you have for yourself, whatever you set your mind on to do it. So this was a good read during my 75 hard. This one, this book was recommended by Nosy. Yeah, not me personally. It's just something that is on her page, and I was like, oh, let me look into it. So this book, I'd recommend it to everyone, whether on a personal capacity or business or work. As long as you work with human capital, with people, I'd recommend you to read this book because it's not about winning friends and influencing people, like it says. I think it's just a catchy phrase, but it has to do with how to work with people. This one, recommended 100%. My next book was this, From Wound to Scars by Marsha Pires. Love it. My journey through abuse, rejection, and overcoming it all. Love this book. This book is good for anybody that went through any sort of abuse in their life. But if you look at it, also it is mentioned in the book. I mean, most of us, if not all, have gone through a level of abuse. How many being ridiculed, being bullied at school, in the workplace, and stuff. So this book, I would hardly recommend it. And I loved her story. Yeah, many a times people go through abuse. Yeah, they tend to keep quiet and just shy away. But for her, instead of shying away, she put all her energy and strength into her academics and just being an overachiever. She became an overachiever to hide, if I can say, the scar that she was going through. But I'm so glad the book is called Wound to Scars. Yeah. Then my last book was After the Fire by Nozi Chabalala. Love it. And then it says, Unlock the Power of Letting Go. Love reading this book. I finished off the 75 hard with this book literally on the 3rd of October. I read the last page. That was the 10th page. And then the acknowledgement was literally the next day. These 2 days, I read this on Saturday morning because I don't know why. I just wanted to. So I read many a times in the morning because I have a morning routine now, and it's like wake up, read my Bible, do meditation, then I read my 10 pages. After the 10 pages, I go for my morning walk, come back, prepare for work and school, then we're off. Yeah. So I've created that. It has become part of my life and I loved it. And it was just a beautiful thing to start off my days. Yeah. So let us go into drinking my water. This one for me wasn't hard because I love water. I love water. Literally, I'm looking for a water bottle. I don't have my water bottle that I used during the 75 hard because, yeah, after the 75 hard, let me tell you a story. After the 75 hard, TikTok and they were like, no, you should cleanse our water bottles. That I was on TikTok and they're talking about cleansing our water bottles. I was like, you know what? Let me sterilize my water bottle. Did my water bottle not just shrink? It did, but I'm glad it shrinked after the challenge. So for the 75 hard, I got myself a bottle, like a 750 water bottle from Pep Store, and I would drink six of those. So you do the math, six 3.4 liters of water per day. So I drink that on a daily basis. It's supposed to be 5.5, but that's how you start. But along the way, you just get to drink six because it's the right thing to do. Just finish the water bottle. Why not? So here's what I did. So before I went for my morning walk, I had to drink one of that water bottle done before I go for my walk. I should be done with drinking my water. And after my walk as well, I should at least be done with my second water bottle. So by the time it's 9 a.m. already, I should be done with two bottles of water. So during the day at work, I drink another two, and then one during my second workout, and one before 8 p.m. That was my goal and strategy during the 75 hard to get in my water. It's quite simple and it was easy for me since I love water, but staying consistent every day really tested my discipline because there are days are like, do I really need to drink like six bottles of water? But because I was on the challenge, I had to. Let's talk about the workouts. This one was the hardest one for me. Every single day, doing two 45-minute workouts. And this one also is the one reason that also kind of hindered me to do the 75 hard earlier. Who has time to do 245-minute workouts every single day? Well, clearly I did because I completed the challenge. But literally, about 85% of my workouts were walks. Remember that one workout has to be outdoor, regardless of the weather, whether it was raining, snowing. We don't have snow, but I'm just saying I would go for morning walks. Literally, first thing in the morning. I'd go for my morning walks, and if it's on a Sunday, I'll still wake up the same time every day. Wake up, read my Bible, read my book, and then do a workout. Go to church, come back, wait for 3 hours. Then I can do because you have to wait for 3 hours. If there should be a 3 hour difference in between the workouts. That's the rule of the challenge. Yeah. But I remember once there was a day I woke up. I think I woke up and then I was like, let me do an indoor workout. It was probably raining outside. I'm not too sure why I did why I did the indoor workout first, but I did. And you know what I did when I did my outdoor workout during lunch that day, I remember I wore sneakers and I was walking around the streets of my workplace and I would walk around for 45 minutes, but loved it because I knew I had to get in my work out. I have to get in my walk before my second walk, and it had and my second workout usually was indoor one. Got myself a walking pad and I would just walk on the walking pad for 45 minutes. Yeah. And then or I would do a grow with Joe YouTube video. I'll do that. I did about twice. Twice I did yoga, and I think I've concluded that I'm not a yoga person. Or maybe I just didn't do it right, but I just don't like yoga. But it was also part of the 75 hard on the days where I was like, so, like, I could not move because there were those days. There were days where I was like, you know what, I got this, let's get it in. And the days they were like, why am I doing this workout again? Let me tell you of a story. So my cousin had a school competition, something. I think it was a STEM competition. Yeah. So I went with her, and they finished quite late. I think they finished about 8 p.m. because usually by 6 p.m. or so I was done with both workouts. But this time around, they finished around 6 a.m. and I had to drive home. So I had to do the other workout around 9 o'clock. I had to get home. Yeah. Jumped onto the walking pad and get in my second workout. I didn't want to fail. I didn't want to fail. And I think I also had about 3 bottles of water that I had to drink. I think on that specific day, yeah, water also that I needed to get it in. And I remember doing my workout, the second workout on the walking pad, tired. Like, that day when you're just walking, but you're walking. I had to walk, move my body for 45 minutes, and that's what I did. Some of the workouts, I was literally doing it. I was like, yes, I've got this, 45 minutes has got nothing on me. And there were days where you're like, yeah, let's just move my body. Because I needed to do it for 45 minutes. But I'm glad I did. I'm glad I stayed the course and I finished. To follow any diet of your choice, I personally did intermittent fasting. I chose mostly the 18-6 method, if that's how they're called, method as well. That's what I did mostly. I say mostly because, like, there were days on Sundays where we had Lord's Supper. There was no way I was gonna miss Lord's Supper because of a challenge. That was most important. So on the days that we had Lord's Supper, I'll probably do 14. I'll just stop instead of doing 16, I'll stop at 14. Understand? Or, I'll just go ahead, have my Lord's Supper. And there was a day specifically I did for 14 hours. But many a times the goal was to do 16-8. Yeah. And there were even days where I did OMAD, which is quite good for me. I liked it actually. I think my body was thriving through OMAD, but I know for longevity, I could not keep that up. Yeah. And the other thing is that no cheat meals and no alcohol. So I don't drink alcohol, so that was out already. No cheat meals. Cheat meals for me were chocolates, cakes, all the sweet things. You guys know the sweet things, yeah. So instead of doing that, since I have a sweet tooth, I supplemented the things with the healthier options. I think I have a video of the treats I mostly had during the what during the challenge. So I'll put them on the screen for those that are listening onto the podcast. There were, the little treats. I think it's for the kiddies. You buy them in Woolies, the packs. I don't know. I don't know how to describe them, but they were just little treats, small treats for kids. It's meant for kids, but I would take it in as a treat for me. And it's filled, I think the mango peach, and there's another flavor in it. It's the orange one. Loved it. Is it mango, peach, and orange? Something like that, but I loved it. So I opted for a healthier option. Basically, it's just, or you could head over to YouTube and see what I'm talking about if you feel like I did not describe it well for you. Just get the stamp and go directly and see the type of chocolates that I'm talking about. Yeah. So the progress picture. This one felt a little awkward for me, but I did it because it was part of the challenge, and I didn't want to take away anything from the challenge. I wanted to do the challenge as it came. Yeah. So I took the pictures every day. I don't understand why. I understand why it's part of the challenge, but I don't get why it should be every day. Does that make any sense? Literally, I deleted the photos that Saturday because I just don't want to have naked, although they are not entirely naked, I'm still in. I'm not entirely naked. I just don't want such pictures on my phone. So literally, I deleted it. I just took them to stay true to the purpose of the challenge. Then I deleted them literally the next day. That's it. Those were the 5 tasks that I had to do. Progress picture, read 10 pages, 2 45-minute workout per day. I had to take a progress picture, drink water, and then follow a diet of your choice. That was it. Those were the 5 tasks that you had to do for 75 days every single day. You miss one, you go back and start all over again. But I kind of enjoy it. Now, I remember, guys, no, let me not make it sound like it was easy. I've cut it. I remember, especially on day 74. I think from day 70, I was like, let's just get it over and done with. Day 75, come already, please. I want. And on day 74, especially, I was out. I remember I dragged myself to do the second workout. I would say, okay, let me rest for 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes became an hour became 2 hours. Up until I think I did my second workout around 8, 9 o'clock, just because I was like, but it made it as the second last day. I was like, but I had to. One thing as well that helped me, especially during my workout, was the drinking magnesium. I would drink magnesium, the supplements, and I would also drink slow mac because 245-minute workouts every day for 2.5 months, because 75 days is 2.5 months. It's no joke. It is no joke. It was indeed a mental toughness challenge. I know some people do it for weight loss and stuff, but it is indeed a mental toughness challenge, because there were days where I wanted to quit. There were days where I thought, like, Pam, you're tired. Just skip one workout. Nobody would know. That's where the integrity comes in. No one will know. Just skip one day. Like on my anniversary, it's like just take one piece of the chocolate. It won't hurt. Your body deserves it. It needs sugar to thrive. You can't completely cut out sugar. So you need it. And there were days where I was like, why am I doing this again? I would question, why would I challenge myself to do the internet most toughest challenge out there yet, or so they say, to just to say that I've completed it. But I loved it, loved the discipline it brought in me, the mental toughness in me, the integrity to know that I did two 45-minute workout every day for 75 days. Guys, I don't think I'll stop telling everybody that I've completed the 75 hard. I say this because I know of people who, whenever I tell them I did 75 hard, they're like, no, I'm doing my own version. I think I started with my cousin. She's also doing the 75 hard soft. Nothing wrong with doing the soft, nothing wrong with, taking out and removing. But I personally, I wanted to do the challenge the way it came. That's just how I am. So, but I kept on going. I kept on going because I knew and I understand in those moments of weakness that I understood why it's a mental toughness challenge. It's not all about fitness though. There's two 45-minute workout. It's training your mind. It literally trains your mind to be a woman of your words, to set goals and go for them even though they are hard. So it's I understand it's a mental toughness challenge. Tell yourself, I'll do this, and you do it no matter how hard it is. And you must know your why you're doing the challenge, why you're doing the challenge. And yes, of course, I did the challenge and I lost weight. I mean, of course, you're doing two 45-minute workouts and you are in a calorie deficit, you will definitely lose weight. So I lost about 6 kgs in 2.5 months. In 2.5 months. More importantly for me, I think I've gained is that yes, the weight is inevitable because you are in a calorie deficit and you are doing two 45-minute workouts. So you definitely lose the weight. And you're drinking a gallon of water every day. So you are you're full almost all the time, if I can say. I've lost the weight, love it, love the compliments that I'm getting from the people. But even with myself, I can feel it. I can see it in my jeans and my clothes. I can see the difference. But at the same time, I ask myself, like, if this is how I feel or I look like now in my jeans, how was I before? topic for another day. So let us move into the second reason why decided to record this video. As now that I've completed the 75 hard, what is next? Yeah. So I've given myself 9 days from the 8th. So I've given myself 9 days of challenges, of nothing. I literally wanted to give myself 2 days and back doing something else. I was like, Pam, I don't want to experience a burnout, and I don't want to be hard on myself, because if I start something and I don't finish it, there's kind of I don't know how to call it, but you feel some type of way, and I didn't want to experience that. So I gave myself 9 days. 9 days because the next day is gonna start on a Monday. So starting next week Monday, I'm gonna start a challenge. Nothing extreme. It's just a challenge for 8 weeks, where I will I will do just simple habits. Literally 6 simple habits every day. These are everyday habits that some I already do, but I just want to install them in me, so that when December comes, they are literally part of me. I've made it intentional for them to be part of me. Do you understand? Not sure. It's not going to be hard challenges. It's no, not nothing like that. Habits, I can't share with them because I am planning to record my journey. Yeah, I will be documenting my journey on YouTube on a weekly vlogs called Discipline Diaries. 6 habits to do every day. Nothing crazy, nothing hard, just habits that I want to install in me intentionally, so that they are part of my life, and I'll be documenting my journey on YouTube. Yeah. So the third thing is the new posting schedule. So since I will be sharing and posting the discipline diaries vlogs, I thought it would be best to have it on a Friday. Then the Peppers and Glow podcast will move Wednesdays. So the Peppers and Glow podcast will then move to Wednesdays, same time as always, that is 1 p.m. So starting off next week, the Peppers and Glow podcast will be posted on Wednesdays, 1 p.m. Then on Fridays, we'll have not this Friday, not next week Friday, the other week, because next week is when the challenge will start. I first need to have content, right? So then the other week, I can have the discipline diaries with 6 habits that not hard, just simple habits, but we'll get into it. So that's it. Next week Wednesdays, we will have the podcast, and then on Friday we'll have the discipline diaries vlogs on Fridays. Please mark your calendars. Yes, and yes, and yes, and yes, I will be doing the 75 hard again, but not anytime soon. In 2026, maybe. Definitely in 2026. Or maybe we should do the yearly thing. I don't know. I don't want to overpromise, but I would definitely do the 75 hard challenge again, because I liked the person that I was during the 75 hard. Yes, there were moments I would question and ask myself, why am I doing this? What? But I loved it. I loved the person that I was. I loved it. And little things have changed in my life. I'm noticing a lot of things have changed, and I like it. I like it. I do. I really, really, really do. That's why I'm here to do the 25 hard. I wanted to do it immediately after. Yeah, since it's still Q4, because you can get a lot done in Q4, right? You cannot waste the months just because we're approaching December. I mean, you can get a lot done in a very short period if you set your mind on it. But I didn't want to overcommit and go too into the holiday while on a challenge. No, I don't set myself up for failure like that. Not. Thank you so much for listening to this episode, and also for those that are watching on YouTube. Thank you so much. This is the Peppers and Glow podcast. My name is Pamela, your host. Until next week, Tuesday. Ciao, ciao.